Hello, YouTube modeling community. This is Rusty Roeder with a Mental Monday, and I had a couple of things planned, but this kind of is going to supersede it. A little shop talk and a channel shout out, and the channel shout out leads into our Mental Monday. So we're going to kind of step back and do them step by step, and we're going to try to get through this as fast as possible. First and foremost, get this out of the way. Thank you to all my past, present, and future subscribers. You guys have made the difference in the past couple weeks of our sub level going up. Like I said, all I can do is tell you guys, keep checking, make sure that you're sub to the channel. Remind your friends and family members, if they watch, that they're checking to make sure that they're still subscribed. That's how we can stay strong. I do that primarily once a week. I try to make sure I'm still subscribed to all the channels that I sub to. I have found a couple that I've subbed to and I watch regularly, I'm no longer sub to. Like I said, I watch on the big TV, so I can't leave comments, but I always leave thumbs up. So I'm curious as if it's one of those things I just don't watch enough of them or regularly to YouTube kicks my sub out, kind of like what they're doing to mine. It may be, I don't know. But you definitely need to go back and make sure that you are subbed. And, like I said, I tell everybody, while you're doing it, hit that bell notification. You'll know when these videos come out. I appreciate all the great comments. You guys humble me to the point of no end. I think probably at this point, I probably would have gave up. And it just went back to just building and, posting on Instagram every once in a while or whatever. But your guys' great comments keeps me wanting to do this. And at the end of the day, time is money. I'll say it again. If anybody's curious, well, I wonder, I charge $125 to $135 an hour. I feel comfortable charging that because A, I have an art degree. B, I've been doing this since I was 7 years old, so that's 50 years of experience you're getting out of me. Doesn't mean it's all in cars. It's broke up everywhere. But that's what I'm worth. Actually, I'm worth more than that, but that's a fair price. And I also do things. If you can't afford the $125, $135 an hour, I have other options. But we're going to try to keep it one commission bill at a time. And probably not a lot of them this year. Maybe when we get into the winter next year, I may be driven to do more. It's all on how often we need money for the shop. Like I said, everything model related, I keep model related. Try to keep from getting in my own pocket. You know what I mean? So there we go. I done lost train of thought. Oh, what my time is worth, blah, blah, blah. Time is money. So I had a birthday party Saturday. I told you guys about it. It was my granddaughter. She turned 3. This little Lila Marie Wyckoff. She's going to be a big sister. We do not know what the sex is yet. I think everybody's hoping for a boy, but as long as it's healthy, we're golden. So Sunday was like my day really to come down here in the shop and work, do what I want to do. Intentions of getting stuff cleared, and getting kind of stuff out of the way. But I was doing my normal thing, having my coffee and trying to catch up on people's videos. And I came across a channel. So this is going to be a channel shout out. And this isn't a channel that's struggling in any way. Maybe to them they are in a certain way. I'm not aware of that. But to me, I don't think they're struggling in any way. This channel is 32K strong in subscribers. And after watching about 2 of their videos, I can completely understand why. If it was just based on that. They cover a lot of different things, and it's very informative. It's very exciting, entertaining. It's humorous to a degree, and yet super informative. All I can say is about their channel is that he has to have a vast knowledge of military. So he very well may have been in the military, the Navy, Air Force, somewhere around there, I would say, for the style that he builds in. His wife is also a builder, which is amazing. I'm a true believer. There should be more females in the hobby. It's art. It's so many different levels of things that females should be involved. I think they can get complete satisfaction and enjoyment out of it. And it doesn't have to be model cars. It can be, a Gundam. It can be dioramas. It doesn't matter what it is. It's all, a work of art when you're done. They start off as a craft project, and it turns into a piece of art. We start off with a model kit. It ends up a piece of art. Everything, formulates from one to another, and, your final goal is a piece of art. The channel. I got it right here. I was somewhat prepared today. Now, like I said, they are 32K strong in subs. And a lot of you probably are already subbed to their channel. I'm not pushing that part of it. They're called the Midwest Model Shop. Again, you may be familiar with the channel. You may be already subbed to it. But if you're not, on any level, you don't know about them, you've not watched any of their videos, whatever, and you want something that's educational, informative, enjoyable, and draws your attention in, this is the channel for you. One of them. The channel is hosted by Nora and Ben. First drew me in because her name is the same as my oldest granddaughter. That's pretty kind of little cool, whatever you want to call it. Ben is very informative. They're both very good modelers. Ben is on, as far as level of skill, he's probably, he's up here. He has worked with scratch building, resin cast, 3D printed, photo etch, every level and component. Every component of I don't know what you call it. I guess of parts available in the universe. He's very familiar with all and knows how to go about prepping, cleaning, using, painting, all these different things, and knows how to apply them to what he's doing. Some things he learns just like we would do as we go, and the more you do it, the more you become familiar with it. I just like his aspect, or his outlook of things, I guess is the word to say. So what got me is I noticed, like in my suggested areas, there was a channel that I had a little red bar on. It looks like I started watching it, but for whatever reason I didn't watch the whole video. And it wasn't because I didn't find it interesting. It's just I probably had to do something. I had to get up and turn TV off. Or I just started watching it before we were getting ready to walk out the door type thing. So I went back and I restarted from the beginning and I watched. And you'll see Nora holding this big, huge box. And that's what drew me in, was what was on the box. What's in the box? They are building the 1/200th scale, the Titanic, by Trumpeter. Now, they started off with this as an idea to build this kind of primarily what's in the box and kind of make it accurate, a little more accurate, where the model is missing some accuracies. He wanted to add that detail in, but scratch building it basically to incorporate this in and make it look the part. And then it got to a level of, photo etch above and beyond what was available. They did purchase, or was gifted via the companies to try out and demonstrate their products. So they've gotten, in the course of building this thing, tons of companies are sending their Titanic parts that they make and sell to them to use in their project. And they have been incorporating a little bit of everything throughout the whole build, which is fantastic. This thing has, you look through the little windows, and you can look into the rooms and all the the detail that's on the real ship, that he's putting in a little bit here where it's most important, where it's going to be seen the most, is where he's kind of incorporating it into. But I can't remember what number I'm on, but it's a build series. So to jump off that build series a little bit, I kind of thought about it. Like, I like to talk. Everybody knows that I talk, and I like to be informative, and I show you what I've done. And it's not so much building. Well, we decided the 2 builds we were going to do that build series on. It's just going to be me building, some music maybe, if I could figure out how to get in there, incorporate while I'm building, and do them in segments. Ben and Nora have kind of done the same thing this build, and a lot of their other builds are in segments too. You watch one and then you're hooked, and you gotta watch the next one to see where they get and what they use and how they do it, and it's all informative as you go, and yet enjoyable, because you're getting to see the process of this thing. And this ain't no little boat. This thing I think is like 3 or 4 feet long. It's a big model. It's every bit. It's bigger than that diorama, so it's over 3 feet long. If you guys know, leave it down in the comments. I didn't look when I looked up the price to get the dimensions of it. I could just kind of eyeball it for space, and it's around 3 or 4 feet long. So it's a big model, but yet it's still small, because for as big as it is, all the detail is, it's teeny tiny. It's it's insane. And I think as a builder that, like, wow, I'd really like to build that now that I see them build it, but what route do I go? There's so many companies selling different parts, because I know I couldn't scratch build any of that. So that's where that comes into play. I would have to go aftermarket realm to achieve that look, or a higher level of detail than what's in the box, I guess. But there's all these companies that make this stuff. Some is photo etch space, some of it, and I'm not real strong in photo etch, resin casted parts, 3D printed parts. Which method am I going to use? And it's pricey. I'm talking, this thing's probably about $2,000. If you bought 2 or 3 full detail part sets and tried out a little bit of everybody's stuff, kind of like they're doing, you're dropping between that and the price of the kit. You're dropping almost $2,000, easy, to build something of that magnitude and that much detail in it. Now you can just spend $500 on something on the kit and build it right out of the box, paint it, and be done with it, and have a nice looking model. But it's you as what level you want. And I think they started off here, and then it's manifested into this big, huge thing. And not only did he do that, he commissioned a build, and he's building another one at the same time. Not the same ship, just total different levels of detail. The commission builds, a lot of photo etch in it, but it's not lit. Well, Ben and Nora are lighting theirs layer by layer, and they're all the things they do to get light here and get light here. They're using LEDs, and then they're using I can't even think of the name of it. See, I think of something that I'm like, fiber optic lines to each one of those little tiny windows to light them up. And it's amazing. So, I mean, there's a lot of work in this thing. And I can imagine if I charged $125 and he charged $125 an hour, the amount of money deep he'd be into that commission build if he was to do all that detail to it. Because like you said, a couple of those little photo etch parts took almost 8 hours to put together. I don't know if that's, folding all the pieces, putting it all together, priming it, and then painting it, and then weathering it. If that was all included in that. If not, it's even more. So, let's just say 10 hours it took to complete one of the parts. That's $1,000 and something deep you'd owe me for one little part. So you can see the full build would be $50,000-$60,000, and maybe a rich person would want to front that kind of money. That's a must-have thing in their house. I get that, but that's not always feasible. So there's other ways to do it. Like I said, I do when I when I get a commission build, because not everybody can afford the full out hourly rate. So I give other methods, and I don't know if they do either. But to get to the point, I think if you go back and watch this build, and it's still going on, it's been over a year. so you can see the time frame. And they've got jobs and a house and life, just like anybody else. But the time on camera and of the build is just absolutely fascinating. He points out his mistakes. He points out the flaws in the products he's using. He kind of gives you an all well-rounded knowledge of a boat, a vessel, whatever you want to call it, to kind of make you comfortable in wanting to attempt to build it. He tells you price factors. This stuff's expensive. You got to decide which route you want to go with it, because everything is very pricey. And then there's some stuff that's worth the extra money, key components. So they're very informative. And you get a history lesson about the Titanic. Actual documentation that Nora will read off pretty much every video about people that were on board, about the boat itself, the era, everything surrounding the Titanic. So you get a little history lesson on top of a building lesson, basically, and the enjoyment of watching a husband and wife interact and do this and do that. She does this part, he does this part. While he's doing this, she'll be reading the story, or vice versa. It's very cool. So if you get the time, go check it out again. And I'll try to have their link down below. You don't have to tell them Rusty sent you. I don't even know if they know I exist. The Midwest Model Shop. And like I said, your hosts will be Ben and Nora. I don't know their last name. What part of the world they're in. I think they're out in the western part of the United States. But because he said, I think they just moved here a while back from Arizona, or maybe he was talking about the ship. I don't know. But anyways, that's not important. What is important is if you want to watch a fantastic channel, learn a lot about what they're actually working on at the time. So it'd be like me describing all the background history on a 1969 Dodge Charger. Yeah, I could incorporate it in, but I'm not familiar with all that. So I would have to do a lot of research just to do that. And I'm more about just talking to you about things I know, showing you what I've done or what I'm going to do, and that's the skill level. So with all that said, one of the videos Ben and Nora did, light went off of me. You got to remember back past Mental Mondays, we've kind of touched base on every little thing. Kind of gone full circle about photo etch, about 3D printing, about resin casted, about just aftermarket parts in general. Pre-wire distributors, all those little parts that we rely on. Now, that places us as modelers into categories without even kind of knowing about it. So if you first-time builder, you buy a model car, you're like, and you want to right out of the gate do all the stuff to kudos for the inspiration, the drive, and the sheer will of wanting to do it and try it out. I stand behind you 190%. But everybody starts off somewhere. And that's why you'll notice on the boxes it says skill level 1 through whatever. I think I've seen one time in my life a box that said skill level 6. I'm not positive about that, so don't beat me up over it. But I know it's definitely like 1 through 5. It's because it's the level of experience to take to build it according to the directions in the box art. Doesn't mean that because you're skill level 1 that you couldn't build skill level 5, because I've done it. Anybody can do it. It's having the balls big enough to admit to yourself that, hey, I'm this skill level. This is where I'm at. This is what I know how to do comfortably. And for the past 10, 15 models I've built, this is where I'm at. Now, I have come up a little bit in my skill level from where I started, but this is where I'm at. So if you choose to do a build and you know, okay, well, the kit alternator, just examples, guys, just doesn't fit the part. So you got some choices to make. I can scratch build it. No, I don't know how to do it. I'm not great at scratch building. I can weather it up and make it look the kit part a little better. I'm not really good at weathering either, so no. So that leaves you a few options. The aftermarket world. Somebody that is resin casted that specific alternator and made it more crisp and detailed. And when you finish painting it and everything else and maybe a little panel line wash on it, it really pops and it looks the part. So you have that option. 3D printed is the same way. Somebody may 3D print an alternator of the caliber you're looking for, and all you really got to do is prime it, paint it, and a little black wash on it, and pow, it looks great. Or it's a special alternator, if such thing exists, that you're wanting to put on this specific build. That comes back into 3D printing. And a couple other categories, but we won't get deep in those. But so you got to know somebody that can design, like Ryan Jones, that knows how to sit behind a computer and design it up. Same way McGill. You guys know who he is. He's a fantastic guy. I'm sorry I can't remember his channel, McGill. And my other buddy that's on Instagram, Dog3 Models. His name's Dutch. He's the same way. Just comes to him naturally and can figure it out and design, make the part that they want that is not available anywhere. Now, that being said, a lot of people don't like that because it's not modeling. You're taking something and you're just slapping it on to get that look. Well, you got to think. That all falls back on your level of skill. Can you make it? If you can't make it and you can't add to it and make it look the part, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You know where your limits are. And so that leaves you in the realm of aftermarket parts, which you can still achieve the same look and the finished product you're going for. So there's nothing negative in it. It's just how everything comes back full circle. It's what's available to you. Now, if you're a master modeler and you can scratch build a whole car from scratch, no parts bought, everything was scratch built and put together. That's whittling it out, carving it out, lathing it out, whatever it may be. And you built a 1/25th scale model car, and every bit of that square centimeter, millimeter of that build is all scratch built by your fingers. It wasn't pulled out of a package. It wasn't made on a printer or in a mold. You did it. That's master model level. His skill level, he knows going in, it doesn't matter what it is, because if it's not available, he can make it just by scratch. And those guys blow me away. But for every level that you're at, there is things available to you to achieve a higher skill level look. Does that make sense, guys? So, like, I guess we can use this as an example. I'm not the best painter. I'm not horrible. I can put out a decent paint job. I lack in other areas where the finesse on it and the complete package, it kind of dulls down the look of it. But like this perfect paint job. There's not one flaw in this paint. And I've only done that a couple times, guys. Now, and I'm not done. So by the time I get the clear coat done on this, and I put my panel line in for the lines, I may fudge it all up and be totally disappointed in myself and all the time I spent in this thing. But my skill set knew, okay, I wanted to do a fade on this car. My original intentions were to use the kit flames on the blue, the Nassau blue. I was like, well, it's kind of common. It's, I've seen that quite a bit. So let's stay different from everybody else, or as different as we can. I mean, how many times have you seen a 32 built? And how many different ways? You've seen it rat rotted out. You've seen a low boy. You've seen a high boy. You've seen one chopped. You've seen all the different things possible. So my first thing was, I don't see a lot of open rumble seats on them, so I want to attempt that. And I checked with my lead insider, which is Tom, old Tom Rambler 69. He builds a lot of hot rods, and he said it was very, I can't remember the word, kind of trying to overachieve, I guess, is what I was doing. It's something that normally, I guess, isn't done, because what you have to do in order to get it to work right. I think it worked out okay, but I'm no judge, so I like it, and that's all that matters, really. So I tried, and I practiced on a body, which I showed you, fading it out, and I wasn't happy with the results for the colors I was using. I didn't want to switch up my colors. So how could I achieve what I'm going for? It's not like you can go buy it. I mean, I have to hire somebody to paint this for me. And that was a thought in this, but then I was like, no, I need to do it all. So I laid the base coat of the blue, and I love the color. I could have left it just like that, but I was like, no, the fade. So I shot the Miami Beach over the blue, over the Nassau blue, and wow, I'm like, oh, I didn't have to fade it. It fades naturally. It's not color shifting per se. Like you look at one way, the whole car's blue. You look at one way, it's purple, or one way it's green. It's not like that. It's just the color fades from blues to turquoise and greens back to blues, and that's it. There's no other color shifting in it. It's just that. And if you just look at like I'm looking at me, it looks blue. It's just a real pretty pearl blue. Now once the clear, because I've wet sanded this down, so it's kind of dull. But you can see a hint of the green right here. You can see a hint of the green. It's where the light hits it. Where you pick up those other hues. It's not by, I mean, I guess on the angle, certain angle it would too. But so my level was like, okay, let's try it. Well, we got small space, so we don't have to worry about big areas. And I laid the paint perfect, both colors, no flaws in it. Primer, I did have a little splotch on the trunk deck or the hatch. And I was able to get that out, and I sprayed the paint. So, like I said, now everything's ready for clear. That's the next determination. If I can lay the clear down and get it nice and level without, it's got a lot of edges and lines on here. I don't want to be sanding on this and burn through. So I'm going to go a little more leveling thinner when I go with the clear to get it to level out. I've always kind of held back a little bit. I've enjoyed polishing and sanding, but something that's as intricate as this, I don't want to. If I don't have to. I don't mind the flat areas, on the rumble seat hatch. I don't mind about that too much. I just want to try not eliminate any detail and not burn through any of the edges. So, hopefully we'll be able to attain that. But yesterday I spent all day watching Ben and Nora's videos on the one build. I didn't get nothing done down here. So we touched base there, where my strong points are. We all know it's detailing these engines up. That's my strong point. Painting is somewhat strong. To give you an example, we all knew viewer's choice. We used the Tropical Glitz Abyss Black. It's the deepest, darkest black you can get. I did 4 or 5 coats of clear. Well, I thought to myself I needed to finish wet sanding this body down. So I started going through the process. Well, I've got myself into a pickle now that I've only gone through 2 steps of the body, and I've probably already gone through a coat and a half of the clear. So I don't have a whole lot of clear left on there. So I got enough to finish out my steps to get it smooth, but I'm going to have to re-clear. I'm not going to be able to polish it out. And that's okay. But we did it here on the hood, and I got so deep into it that I actually revealed some issues that I was not aware of. But I've got the hood like glass. And it's 2K clear. You guys can see the shine in that. There is no more orange peel in that. That is just as smooth as glass. There's no imperfections, but you can see a scratch and a blemish. So probably what I'll do is wet sand this down again. And I'll reshoot this hood with black. And then go back through and reshoot it with clear, get another 2 or 3 layers of clear on it, and heavily thinned out so it'll lay flat, and then hopefully it's just a little polish to get it like this again. So I kind of took 2 steps back on that, but it's not bad. It's a learning curve for knowing where you can go and how much you can do, and so the next time you know that this is where your skill level improves. So I know the next time that I do a car that's black, and I'm trying to achieve as close to perfection as I can, paint job, because it's one of the hardest colors to lay, that and silver, believe it or not, because silver will pool on you, and you'll have blotchiness in the silver, because it's a metal flake. So the best way to lay silver is very, very light coats. Don't try to cover the car in 1 coat. Don't try to cover it in 2 coats. Don't try to cover it in 3 coats. Take your time. Let it gas out. That's key. Then come back. Your same method that you used, light coats, and you'll lay silver very nice. Black being a solid color, it's the same way, but it shows everything, so you don't want any imperfections in it, and that's kind of where we're at. So I wanted to achieve as close as I could to perfection in this black paint. We didn't hurt anything. We've not burned through anything. It's just I can tell already from I had to step it up to 2,000 and start it at started at 1,000 or no, 2,000. Yeah, started at 2,000, and that took it cut it a lot down. Then going to 3,000, it's taking primarily the rest of it out. By the time I get up to 12,000, it'll all be out, but I also will be all out of clear. See what I'm saying? I will have sanded through all the clear, which tells me I didn't thin my clear enough to get that leveling action going. And the roof was great, but I went ahead and wet sanded it down too. So I don't have to repaint the car. I just need to re-clear the car. So we got to finish up the steps and get it all leveled out, and then we'll wash it, let it dry, get it ready to go into the booth for clear again. When it goes into the booth for clear, we'll be clearing the Charger. We will be clearing the 32. Now here is the dilemma. We're jumping back and forth, but that's okay. Shop talk part. So I made some executive decisions. I'm the only one making the decisions. The Charger is going on ice. I'm not as worried about it going to Acme as I am the 32. The other build that's going to Acme is a Corvette. We will get it down here before long, and we will look at the parts that I have. I'll put up some pictures of the actual car and the route I'm going with it and what I hope to achieve. And that's going to be my primary build other than the 32 that I'll be taking to Acme. The Charger, if it finishes out nice, will go to Acme also. But, you don't know until you get to those steps, and hopefully everything you've done pays out and it looks the part. So we'll see. But so that's going to go on ice. We are going to finish the 32 because we're that close. Viewer's choice and wife's choice, although I took 2 steps back on viewer's choice, viewer's choice is staying down on the bench. Wife's choice will go up here on the back burner with the 53 and the Ghost of Kiev. I want the Ghost of Kiev to be right because I'm excited about it. I want it to be a certain way, so I'm not rushed really to get it done, if you know what I mean. So it's something I can just work on when I'm waiting and I don't have nothing to do and I'm just sitting here burning daylight. I can work on that. Jay's is going to be a separate thing altogether. I'm not even close to putting up the first video. We are getting little things done on it, but it's not like big progress. But the little things will get me to the point where, oh, holy crap, I'm ready for this. I'm ready for primer. I'm ready for paint, whatever, sub-assemblies. That's kind of how that one's going to go. So we will have videos out on that. The 2 that we're going to do the build series, this is where my thought process come in. I watched Ben and Nora. They do what I wanted to do, which is just build, and you guys see me build and the things I do. But he does it, and he's explaining it as he does it. You don't see him. At the first beginning of the video, you see him. And then he's like, okay, let's jump into it. And you just see him installing this piece, or painting this piece, sanding this piece, photo etching it together, whatever it may be. And you'll see, maybe this section getting done in this video. That's what I want to achieve with those 2 builds. The 99 Silverado and the Aqua Rod race team, whatever you want to call it, boat and van. They both have certain parts of detail to them that I want to have, but not a lot of detail. But I want to do it where you guys can watch me do it, not just sit here talking and that's all it's about. And I hold up this piece here or whatever. No, I want just focused on that. But we will do each video focused. I'll talk a little bit first, then we'll jump into that segment of what I got done in that frame time, and that's what you'll see all the way through. So it'll be part 1 through how many it takes for both those builds, and then we will keep that going. We'll keep one where right now we kind of got 2. The Aqua Rod is going to be done first. I'll be working on that, so those 2 will come down to this bench, our main benches. Ghost of Kiev will get put up. Jay's will come over here, This bench will have, what was I was thinking? There's something I'm forgetting, but that's no big deal. We got something we're up and down here. Oh, we had another Mustang that is real close to being finished. I wanted to bring out and show you guys. We'll still take a look at it. It is called the Oliver Biden Project. If you follow me on Instagram, you will see from a year or so ago where I started it. And it's about 70, 80% done. I'm at the point where I got to finish up the suspension and the engine, and really it's just final assembly. But that and the gray Stang, those two are going to kind of be iced, and along with this one, the EV charger's been iced a little bit, but we are going to finish it up. I found another great product, thanks to Ben and Nora. It's a primer for not photo etch, but for 3D printed parts. It's clear. It dries fairly quickly. Comes in a little, little square jar like this stuff, but it's the Mr. Color stuff. I need to get some of that. I want to try it myself, as I do everything, and as I expect you to do. Because I boast about something or I stand behind something doesn't mean that you may like it or it worked for you, but you want to try it and see. So that's kind of what I want to do. I want to try it and see how well it pre-coats the 3D printed parts. It's like an etching primer, I guess, so to speak. So that may help in filling in that line detail you see in some of the parts. And then you prime it afterwards with your Mr. Color white or black or gray, whatever you're using, and then paint from there. So even though it's an extra step, it may be an extra step into helping hide that natural detail that's in 3D printing, which is those lines, the layer lines. So if that's the case, then I want to shoot a couple coats of that over that EV charger, and then shoot a coat of primer over top of that again and see what I got. If I got a nice smooth finish, then I know I'm ready to move on to paint. And then, like I said, the rest is just interior and then assemblies. So we can get that one down the way. As is the diorama. And this kind of keys into Ben and Nora also, so that you can see kind of why I'm kind of drawn to the channel. So we're doing the diorama. Where we're at, we got a little paper left to remove. I've got my foam down here. I need to get it up here and get it underneath there. Get my foam pad underneath there, and then do my border out of basswood. And then I will get that painted, and I'll let it dry really good. Then we'll mask it off to keep from getting anything on it as we're going. Then I'll have to router out to countersink another 1/2 inch sheet. So it'll basically be the streets, the one we're doing right now, all be road level. Everything else will be bumping it up a layer, 1/4 inch, which will be our sidewalks, curbs, parking lots, so on and so forth. So it'll give the appearance of the street just by countersinking another, taking a 1/4 inch out of that and adding a full sheet of drywall to it. So, and you'll see, we'll talk more about that when we get there, but we're really close to that. And then our first two builds are going to be the 57 T-Birds, because those were gifted to me, one by Brian Gigamos of BG's and Butch from Butch's Basement Builds. They are going to have their names on those cars, whether it's on the license plate or something down inside them. I don't know, but I want to put their name in there because they gifted that to me. And Ben and Nora kind of did the same thing with the Titanic build. As where we can only communicate with you so much via the camera. They offered, if you had the time and you had 1/200 scale figures, if you wanted to take the time to paint one, notify them, they'll give you the information to mail it to. They will put that on their build. So not only will the Titanic be heavily detailed with all the aftermarket world stuff in it, now it's going to have figures everywhere. And I'm talking, they got the little vehicle, was it the Audi? Was it an Audi or Volvo or whatever the car was in the movie? They got that. They've actually got the characters. They have her laying naked on the couch for when Jack was painting her. They got all those little details. So if you're looking through the windows, you can see this detail in there. And then they've got her leaning over the bow. They got all the actual little characters. But then, so all these people got hugely involved. They've sent them the little buggy and stroller and people, the animals, all the other people painted. What a great way to get somebody involved. Well, I could have gone to the max on this too, but I didn't want to ask of a lot. I was new coming out, and we did, by asking for a few things, we achieved everything we needed, because I had pretty much everything, just a few key pieces that I didn't, and I did some trading to get what I didn't have, and you guys were gracious enough to send me the 2 T-birds. So those will be the 2 first things built for the diorama. And I like I said, I thought of some colors. I think one is, I'm going to paint one silver, I think, with red interior. It's either going to be silver or white with red interior, and the black will have red interior as well. But they will be the owners of the gas station's cars. That's how I'm going to play them into what I'm doing. So from the graciousness and the hearts of Butch and Brian, I was able to achieve, I only needed 1, but I was able to achieve 2. So we were going to use them. So once we get the platform done, and I've got my curbs in place, and I know exactly kind of where everything's going to sit, then we will start building the T-birds. And that's putting you guys involved in with what I'm doing in a small way. But it's still, putting them in the center of the whole thing, I guess is the way to say it. But, to go around for full circle is, as a builder, knowing what levels, on every level, what your skill set is. So, a model is based upon many parts or a few parts, decals or stickers, snap together or glue together. So your skill levels have got to determine and got to be achieved to go from one to the other, because you always want to graduate, right? I mean, that's the end goal. Look, I'm not, but if you guys want to build at the level I build at, great. There's guys that do it and do it way better than I do. But, you're just starting out, or you're starting back into the hobby, and you want to get back to this level again, and you like what I do, you got to learn the steps. You got to know, okay, and I tell you, I'm honest. I'm not a great decal person. I struggle with decals. I don't know why. I mean, I can put this little stupid crap together and in place. I struggle with a decal. It's a lot bigger and easier to. I don't know if it's because I'm so used to doing these little tiny parts that I treat that the same way, and then I fudge them up. I don't know. But same way photo etch. I'm not the best with photo etch. I'm okay. I'm getting better. A lot of the other stuff I'm getting better at, but that's how you do it, is by doing it. So you have to decide and know and be comfortable. So, your first build, you do it this way. And you're like, okay, it turned out really good. I'm happy with this. Okay, this one, I would like to try aftermarket wheels. Hey, can you scratch build them? No. Do you have a 3D printer? No. Do you know how to do resin casting? No. Are they available in another kit? No. Are they available in the aftermarket world just to buy? No. I've looked. Specific set of wheels I want. Then it's where 3D printing breaks into different levels. So you're going to have to go to somebody that knows how to do CAD design, or, design the product on a computer, and to be able to print it out, or at least create the file for you if you can print, or your brother prints, or your dad prints, whatever it may be. And if nobody does, you need to print it out. So you go to somebody like Ryan or McGill or VCG Resins, Joel Iceman Collections, if he has the time and it's feasible for him to do. There's some guys that just, Joel's one of them, that just constantly prints. He prints. That's how he makes his money. That's how he spends his time. And VCG Resins is a little different. He does a little designing, and he 3D prints. Ryan designs most, prints a little, and then delegates that stuff out to those two guys and to me, to print them out. So it's all, every level of detail has its own challenges. Every level of building has its own challenges. Figuring out ways to overcome them, improve on them each time. figuring out what paints work great for you. Like I said, I sprayed lacquers on interiors. I did those hours worth of masking and for 2 minutes worth of painting, and then be pissed off because a piece of tape lifted and it bled in and ruined everything. Then I have to go back and strip it all, redo it, just to achieve a certain look. Well, I can do that with acrylic paints because I can wash them off. Soak it in water, warm soapy water, scrub with the toothbrush. Some of it stuff will stain the plastic if you just went over bare plastic. I still recommend priming everything before you use this. Vallejo makes a primer, all-purpose primer for acrylic paints. The primer generally will stay if you let it cure out, and you just wash the paint off. Sometimes it'll all come off. It's just part of it. But it's okay. You can start over easier with less work and effort using these, and a vast amount of colors that are available in these little paints. And these are a couple dollars cheaper than, a bottle of Splash or Gravity or whatever you're using, SMS. It don't matter. But I've learned, and this is what I like to do. So now my skill levels is really good with interior, but it's all using water-based paints. And they make lacquers to go, not lacquers, but varnishes to go over these to protect them. So you don't, because these have bad habits of scratching easy or, coming off, whatever. But once you get them varnished, they're pretty durable. You just got to be mindful of it when you're working with it. My head's clogging up again, so I'm sorry for the nasally sound. But that's kind of where I'm at. Like I said, this channel is highly subbed. It's not sending you over there because I need help in that department. If you're not subbed, by all means, sub to the channel. You're not going to regret it. I've already said I don't want to repeat myself again, but take the time to go there. I'm going to try to have their link down below. You guys can take a look at their channel, see what you think, and drop, show them some love. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Sub to the channel, hit the bell notification. I don't think you'll regret it at all. It's a different type of modeling, but it's modeling, and the stuff they do is very similar to what we do, product-wise, technique, stuff like that. So it will help you, down the road for things that you're going to do or you want to do. So I put it in the library of informative channels that I enjoy watching and I retain some knowledge out of. Make a long story short. So definitely go check out Ben and Nora's channel, Midwest Modeling Shop. If I said that right, I'm not memorizing the channel name, so the Midwest Model Shop. I got it right. Go check them out, guys. And if you're not subbed to my channel already, you like kind of the route that we're going to go in here, and you've been watching some of my videos, thank you. Please hit that subscribe button. While you're at it, hit that bell notification, that little red thing up there. Boop. And you'll know when these videos come out and when all this stuff's going to start. And we're not far off. We're probably looking into the beginning of next week to start down on the Aqua Rod and the 99 Silverado. That'll give me time. I want to get the charger in clear coat. That way I can let it gas out, and then I can wrap it up and put it up and get all the parts picked up and get the bench cleaned. We'll be really close to finishing up the 32. If not, we'll keep working on it, and then we'll get one started over here, and then when we're done with this one, we'll start the other one. And meanwhile, we'll be trying to get some stuff done to the diorama and to Jay's, so I can get these videos out. And meanwhile, I want to thank all my past and present subscribers, all my supporters of this channel, that being you guys included, Market Hobby Nut Models, Ryan Jones from Z-Force Model Works, MGSF Modeling Parts. Now, like I said, guys, he's in the USA now through Upscale Hobbies. I've not gone to the website yet to see if the parts are available yet, but I know he is going to be a carrier of MGSF parts. And I think they're based out of Indiana, if I'm not mistaken. So pretty centrally located, I guess. So you should be able to get those parts, just like, well, I've already put them back up, but all those fine little tire valves, the racing center caps, that wide body kit for the 300 SL, and all the other great products she'll be coming out with. So now you guys will be able to get it and save a lot of money on that shipping and the issue of time from coming from Warsaw, Poland, you won't have to deal with that anymore. So definitely go check out those guys. Show them a little love. Mark at Hobby Nut Models. I know I just got an email. He just got some new stuff in. So you guys need to go check that out if you're available to or able to pick up a few things. That little bit of thing helps us bring the great things like the Aqua Rod race team to the channel. And see this madman's design and what we're going to do to it. And hopefully learn a little something, get to see a product before you spend your money on it. Is always a good thing. It's that balling on the budget. I try to look at it and see if I find any flaws in it, anything I'm going to have to overcome if I want to build a box stock or put my twist into it. That way you guys know before you go buy the kit and then you're dissatisfied that you spent $40, $50 on it and this thing's garbage. I don't know why I spent my money on it. Well, I'm going to scrap it apart now and use all the parts for other things. I'm hoping to save you a little of that grief on everything I do. So if you guys do, show up by flooding those comments. I mean, all the comments you guys can give. Like I said, that keeps this channel boosted. It keeps us up in the realm of where more people are going to see this channel, and we have more potential to grow. Hard work, determination, some blood, sweat, and tears. Every once in a while, a little frustration. We'll get there. But I want to do it the right way and the natural way, and that's just by bringing you guys stuff that you find interesting, and you guys helping me by spreading the word and getting other people involved and watching and subscribing to it. Ideas are always welcome down below. Suggestions, comments. If it's a real big lengthy one, send me an email. You're working on something, send me pictures of it. Tell me what you're doing to it or what you're going to do to it. Guys, I still am working on the picture for everybody that was involved in my group build. I ran into a little issue, but I don't think it's a big one. And me and my wife are going to try to wrap that up this week so we can get that sent off to the photo place to have the pictures printed. But I'll keep you posted on that. I just don't want you to think that I forgot about it, that I'm not doing it. It is happening. It's just when my wife has the time and we both can sit down together and she can help me with it because I'm not familiar with all of it. Some of it's super easy for other people. It's one of those skill set things. I'm not real comfortable doing that. I don't want to make a mistake and screw it up. So my wife's helping me with it because she's done it in the past. But I got to go I'm at her mercy when it comes to that. So, and she's a very busy lady, as in her bills just sat there for a week and a half now. She's not had time to work on it. So I may have to jump in and help her a little bit on certain things to keep her kind of on track of what the goals she has for it. She wants to reveal it at Acme, and I may have to. Right now, I don't think I will. She's gotten it really good. She's not doing a ton of stuff to it, so it's not a big deal. So it should go, rock and roll pretty quick. No modifying to it. I think the only thing she's added is a pre-wired distributor. She's using the flathead engine. I don't think she might try to add a few more wires here and there for detail, but most of her interior or details in her interior and the paint job and the aftermarket tires and wheels she chose. So we'll see. She's doing a great job. Better than I did when I first started out. So there you go. And yeah, meanwhile, we'll be I gotta get some stuff cleaned up. We're gonna do some flip-flop. Like I said, some stuff's gonna go on ice. And we're going to get other stuff down and get rolling on that because remember, guys, every month we have a new build that comes in here. I don't have to build it, but out of appreciation to Mark for sending it to me, I feel like I should build it. We have a couple that he sent that is on the back burner already, and depending on how I perceive it when I see it, and I know what it is, whether I'm like, okay, I got to build that right now, I may not have to. So that's really good. It's one we can put up for another time. And as always, if you guys see something you like, that you're curious about, you want to know about, just let me know. Send me an email or drop down in the comments. We'll pull it down. We'll make a quick little video. We'll open it up. We'll go through it. You guys will know what it's all about before you go out and buy it yourself or whatever it may be. Again, shop cards are available. You just got to contact me via email. I'll get one out to you while they last. I've got a little more than half a dozen left. And there's a few other builds I kind of want to get in on and get started on them uh, here soon. But as always, we got a lot going on here, right? 5 or 6 things at one time, but we're just plugging away at them, and we'll get to them, and we'll get them done. So just stay with me, you guys. I think you guys are really going to enjoy how this year plays out and unfolds. When we get around to August, probably we'll do the viewer's choice for this year. By then, we'll have last year's done, I hope. But we'll do that little contest where you guys will get to pick the model, the tires and wheels. This year around, we're not going to do any detail. You know what I'm saying, as far as wires and everything like that. We're going to do basically a box stock, but with aftermarket parts. We will put up on one of the videos, you guys will get to choose the tires and wheels, the kit, the color, and if we use the stock engine or a 3D printed engine. But I will not be adding all the detail like I do to this to that. It'll be basically a box stock, even though it's aftermarket parts on it. And we will present that, and I'll put it in a display case with Viewers Choice 2023. And we'll do that each year. And then remember, around September comes up, guys, it's time for the Hot Wheels replica group build again. So be spreading that word. Get everybody involved. I hope by then the printer's going. I will be able to print the wheels and tires. I think Ryan will still be able to print them. So 2 sources. Prices will be the same. Shipping's a hair different for me than it is for him. And I don't know if it depends, I guess, where you're at. If you'd save $1 or $2, not even $2, about $1, 50 cents difference between us, I guess, from what I've noted from his stuff and my stuff. Or if you 3D print, you can go online and buy the file and print them yourself and help a few other people out by printing some and passing them on to them. You have to have permission to sell his wheels. You can't just sell them. Giving them away, that's one thing. I can sell them because he does take a portion of the proceeds for that. But we're going to be having that, and we'll get more into that when we get closer. So we've almost hit the hour mark, guys. Like I said, I will try to have their link down below. You guys have a great day. We'll see you on Friday. No Wednesday. I want to keep the middle of the week open so I can get this stuff set up and ready to go. It's given me a lot of extra time instead of taking all the time to film and edit and everything else on the time of the video. So you guys get a chance, go down, check out all these great sponsors. They all have great things. Excuse me, I stand behind them. They stand behind me. So that says something in itself. We're always open to other sponsors, whether it's just for one video or it's for multiple videos. It depends on what the product is. So if you're just somebody watching my channel, you can contact me via my email, which is always down below. If it's something you would like to get, a new product you got coming out and you want to get a chance to view it, you just got to contact me. We'll figure it all out, and we'll get it on here and for the people to see. I just tell you in advance, I'm honest. I view your product before I let all these fine people out here see it. And if it is worthy, then I will cast a video on it, and I will present it, and I will stand behind it. So, that being said, you guys have a great week. We are at, what are we at? 862? I think 861, 862. A lot of that's thank you to Ernie, the hat maker. I love her. I love her personality. It's Ed's wife, Ed's attention to detail. 2 of the finest people I've ever met. And I appreciate you, honey, for boosting me up there a few subs. I hope the people that you referred enjoy my channel as much as we all enjoy yours. And like I said, get over and check out Ben and Nora's channel. It's about modeling. They do things other than just the Titanic. He does a lot of military boats or Navy ships. I know the USS Missouri is one he did. I think the other was USS Arizona. There's a couple figures in there. I think they're like mech warrior type things, or they might be minis. I don't know. Nora built a Batmobile. There's a Star Wars destroyer that they did. I mean, various different models, and they all different levels of skill and parts and aftermarket stuff applied to them. So go check them out. They don't know me. I don't owe them anything. It's a channel I came across. I was thoroughly impressed by it. I've watched at least 18 or 19 of their videos, and I'm hooked. I'm a lifelong subscriber, and I look forward to each and every video they put out. And now I got to go back and start watching all the archive videos and get caught up to date, along with everybody else's. So I just added more work for myself, but it was worth it. So you get a chance, definitely sub to the channel if you're not. If you're not sub to mine, definitely sub. Bell notification, thumbs up, thumbs down. Flood this comments, guys. Let me know what you think about everything. The things I'm putting on ice, the things I'm going to focus on, how I'm going to do it. The 32. You'll see more of the 32 come Friday. It will be in clear coat, and probably some of the sub-assemblies started on it too. We start getting a lot of that detail in there. The Charger will be in clear. We will get the 58 re-cleared. So that way we can store those kind of get them put up out of the way. Get focused on not big builds, but kind of big builds. And I think you're going to really enjoy the process. I'm not seeing anybody go through the building process of the Aqua. I'm tired of saying Aqua Rod Race Team. The boat and the van. I haven't seen anybody do the process from beginning to end of the building of it. So I'm really looking forward to it. I hope you guys are too. The same way with the drop suspension on the 99. And what we do with that, we're not adding a lot of detail, guys. It's all about the suspension. And you'll see some updates on that on Instagram also. So for some of you guys that follow me on both, be looking for pictures coming out on that. I'll probably post some of the Aqua Rod on Instagram. And as we go through these builds, we are incorporating MGSF's products into pretty much all of them. Everything that has a wheel has a tire valve stem, so they're going to receive those. Where I can put their center caps and they fit the part, I'll be using those. The ignitions, I'll be using those because they're magnificent parts. So you'll see each build kind of getting, some of my sponsors' stuff put in it, whether it's wheels and tires or the valve stems or the whatever it may be. So you guys just gotta hit that notification. Let me know. Definitely, guys. Seriously, you guys have been great on the comments. I want to keep it up. I know I'm asking a lot, but there's a reason for it, guys. I figure if I'm not comfortable sitting here talking about this, but it's the only way I get to talk about models, really. So you may take something from it. You may not find any of it interesting. And like I said, I can go by the analytics. It tells the truth. Most people are 10 to 13 minutes, and we're at an hour right now. So, you guys are only watching 10 or 13 minutes of this. You're not watching all of it to get everything out of it. Even if you got to come back and watch it, I don't care. I'm not demanding you sit there for that hour and stay focused on everything. No, I don't expect it. But, I do want you to come back and watch if you don't watch the whole thing. Get caught up on everything. A lot of guys that comment to me and send me emails, they tell me they don't always have the time to sit and watch it all the way through, but they do come back and finish watching it, and they love it. And that's what they want to see. So that's a reason why we're doing this. We're just going to change the style of it up a little bit. You're going to see me talk, hear me talk. We'll discuss a few things, and we're going to get into the build. And it's going to be me doing, whether it's just assembling the tires and wheels and getting them ready for that build, for that segment. Whatever it is, that's going to be what it's about. And then part 2 will be another one until we get all the way done. But you're going to get a combination of both. And I like that rhythm. I did it on Jay's Charger, the other one, if you remember. If you go back and watch that build series, you kind of see I started, stopped, came in and talked a little bit, explained some things, and that's kind of how we're going to do for the Silverado and the van and boat. I will come up with a name of that. the aqua rod is got a cool vibe to it, and we are staying kind of true to the box art a little bit, just with a little different twist to it. And we'll go into that when we start it. So you guys look forward to that. You guys have a great week. We'll see you on Friday. This is Rusty Rotor. I'm out.